Welcome back to Key Talk Media. This host Key Talk. Listen, I appreciate all of y'all for all of y'all are doing. Make sure y'all keep on hitting that like button for me. It helps the videos actually grow and it helps me out a lot. The only thing I ever ask, click that like button if you're listening to my voice right now. Thank you very much. Anyway, so listen, man. So some updated news has actually came out on the 4E head honcho Go Yayo. And it does look like Go Yayo has been resentenced. Shaking my head. So listen, he was resentenced, but the good news about it all is it's only for a few more months. So he got to go back to prison for a few months and then they're going to let him out. It was a violation because he had dirty P. Pretty much he failed the drug test. So he's pretty much having to go back. Now, the other good news is, although he had a bad drug test, he felt that he's got to be a couple months. I do believe he said he's going to be dropping a deluxe from his previous project on Friday. So at least he's leaving the audience and the fans, of course, with some type of something in order for them to hold on to while he's away doing his time again, right? Hopefully the next time he gets out, he's able to just stay free and do whatever he got to do, handle his responsibilities and not do nothing that's going to pretty much end him back up in the place where he went. And I would imagine that having to go back after being out in such a short amount of time, that's going to wake him up a little bit like, okay, dang, yeah, I don't want to come back here. I done came back here again. I don't want this to happen no more at all. And then he'll probably make some different choices or decisions, right? You can play with the line of doing what you can do to promote the music, but at the same time, not slipping back into maybe some of the old ways that could potentially get you locked up at the same time. You know what I'm talking about? So with that being said, that's the updated news on Go Yayo. And other news, it does look like Diddy Man, AKA, I know a lot of people call him the Diddler. He has actually, the judge came out and told y'all, instead of today, if he's going to be able to get another bond or not. And like I told y'all, the chances were higher than the previous time because, there's another guy that was let out on bond. And while he was let out on bond, he was able to, the Abercrombie and Fitch guy, and the judge was like, hey, prove to me why I should let him out, but not why I should let the Abercrombie and Fitch guy out, why he got out for 10 million, but y'all don't want me to let Diddy out for 50 million. And this is what the judge actually had to say. I'm gonna make it full screen for y'all so y'all can see everything, right? The judge did come out and pretty much he was denied. Diddy was denied, and I'm read y'all why he was denied. It says Sean Diddy Combs' bond denied again after the judge says safety of the community cannot be assured with Diddy being on the loose. So it pretty much comes out and says, this is from the judge. Defendant Sean Combs renewed his motion for bail on November 8, 2024. The court held a hearing on November 22nd, 2024, and the parties filed supplemental letters on November 25th and 26, 2024. For the following reasons, Combs' motion is denied. No conditions or a combination of conditions will reasonably assure that the safety of the community. Now, what that means in short terms, you remember P. Diddy lawyer was like, hey, listen, we'll get security guards. We'll get him a place to stay right next, in New York. He's not going to go nowhere else. We'll do all this stuff in order to ensure that he say no phone, no internet, no nothing at all, other than to speak maybe like a couple of people. But hey, they're coming out and they're saying, nah, we can't do it. Somebody he's still such a danger to the community. And they even gave further explanation on why he was actually rejected. It says, the court has evaluated each of the factors that it must consider under 18 U.S.C. Weight of the evidence against person, history and characteristics of the person, the nature and seriousness of the danger that will be posed by the person's release. The court has also reviewed the information submitted by Combs and the government across all three bail hearings. It says the court finds that the government has shown by clear and convincing evidence that no condition or combination of conditions will presumably assure the safety of the community. In support of this finding, the court provides the following reasons. A rebutable presumption of detention applies to this case. Even if Combs successfully rebuts the presumption, it says it remains one of the factors that the court considers in determining whether the government has met its burden of persuasion. The indictment charges Combs with serious and violent crimes. It alleges that decades Combs abused, threatened, and coerced women and others around him to fulfill his sexual desires, protect his reputation, and conceal his conduct. To do so, Combs relied on employees' resources and influences of the multifaceted business empire that he led and controlled, creating a criminal enterprise whose members are associated, engaged in. and attempted to engage in. Among other crimes, trafficking, forced labor, kidnapping, arson, bribery, and obstruction of justice. It says that Combs himself carried out or brandished firearms to intimidate and threaten others, including victims of and witnesses of his abuse. Now, here's what I will say. The very fact that it is something that's like, it's called innocent until proven guilty, of course, but the public opinion plays a huge role in this. And I've already told y'all that the court of public opinion is not on Diddy's side. I made a post that should he be free or not free? 99% of the people said, nah, keep him in there, throw away the key, and was cracking jokes, right? So he don't got the court of public opinion on his side at all, not even a teensy little bit. But if we continue, it says, and notes that during searches of Combs' residence in March 2024, law enforcement seized firearms and ammunition, including 3 AR-15s with defaced serial numbers, as well as a drum magazine. When Combs' authority or reputation was threatened, the indictment alleges he and members of his enterprise engaged in acts of violence, threats, and violent threats of financial and reputable harm and verbal abuse. These attacks of violence includes kidnapping and arson. The indictment also charges Combs with sex trafficking in violation of 18 U.S.C. And then I'll continue, and it says, including whether the offense is a crime of violence, whether it is a violation of Section 1591, and whether it involves a controlled substance or firearm. The government has presented direct evidence of Combs' violence. This includes video footage of 2016. Now, that video's footage of 2016, obviously everybody knows. See, that video is screwing him a lot. That video footage is where he pretty much was beating Cassie, kicking Cassie, elbowing, or whatever else he was doing when she was trying to get to the elevator, I guess, to escape, and he pretty much dragged her back. That footage definitely coming back to bite him. They're using that as a reason why he cannot be released, along with some other things as well. But that's one of the main factors of why he cannot be released, right? So it continues, and it says, following 2000 Intercontinental Hotel incident, I have a black eye and a fat lip. You are sick for thinking it's okay to do what you do. I still have crazy bruising. And then, of course, something is blacked out there. I'm not sure what that blackout is. But it continues, and it says, nevertheless, Combs argues that the weight of the evidence does not support a charge of trafficking. In his view, it supports at best a toxic, sometimes violent, long-term relationship between Combs and victim one. But regardless of whether that's true, there is a compelling evidence of Combs' propensity for violence. There's evidence supporting a serious risk of witness tampering. For example, Combs initiated and had unexplained communication with witness one, who was subpoenaed to testify before the grand jury June 2024, and in fact testified on July 25th, 2024. Combs was represented by counsel during this time, and they have offered an explanation of some of his communications, but they could not explain them all. For instance, Combs' efforts to call and text witness one even after the grand jury testimony, or Combs' deleted text with witness. So listen, bruh, what they pretty much saying is this is uncontrollable. He's calling the witnesses. Even after the witnesses done already testified, he's still getting in contact with them, trying to do some sort of intimidation against them. So this is a complete, utterly danger to the community, and that ain't going nowhere. That's pretty much what the judge is coming out and saying, right? I'm going to read a little bit more, then, of course, we'll go ahead and wrap it up. But it also says there's evidence that Combs violated the Bureau of Prison regulations during his pretrial detention to obscure his communications with third parties. He paid other inmates to use their phone access numbers to make calls to those not on his approved contact list. Instructed family members and defense counsel to add other people to three-way calls so that their communication were more difficult to trace, and used messaging program called Contact Me ASAP. The government gives examples of Combs' communication utilizing these means from a recent as November 4th, 2024, directed the efforts to influence the jury pool to reach out to potential witnesses. The court makes determination that the content of Combs' communication through these channels was improper. However, his willingness to skirt BOP rules in a way that will make it more difficult for his communication to be monitored is strong evidence that the court cannot reasonably assure as to the sufficiency of any conditions upon release. So in all short terms, the court is saying, hey, listen, man, even though we got Buddy locked up, he's still been doing what he want to do. So there is no way in blue hell that we can actually say that, hey, man, everybody's going to be safe whenever Diddy's around. Witnesses, especially the witnesses, their main thing is trying to protect the witnesses. That's like their main goal of what's actually going on. So with all that being said, man, it ain't looking too good for Diddy, man. Let me see if there's any other news topics that's actually going on right now that we can actually get into. I don't think there has been much more that actually happened, but as of right now, that is what's going down. Let me see. Okay, boom, boom, boom. No, okay, we just went over the Diddy being denied bond again. Nah, I don't care too much about the Lil Xan. Say Lil Xan like beat up somebody in the crowd or something. We don't care about that. Hey, I mean, with that being said, it is what it is. You know, I want to say, hey, man, if you do celebrate Thanksgiving, happy Thanksgiving to y'all. If you don't celebrate it, then, I mean, I don't know what to tell you. But if you're still going to be eating some Thanksgiving food, man, enjoy that food. Don't eat too much. You know, somebody get on that toilet and blow it up. Anyway, so if more details coming about any of these topics or any more news topics, I will definitely make another video. Also, make sure y'all hitting that like button for me. That's the only thing I ever ask. Anyways, let me know something. Comment down below. Let me know what you think about this entire ordeal. I'm out.